That's me. Unmute. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Live. Thank you for joining us. I am Stephanie with Artinian Gems, and I am one of the staff gemologists here on site. We are located in Southern California. It is a beautiful sunny day today. We're actually experiencing a heat wave, so that's fun. Anyway, so if you're joining us today, please put in the chat where you're joining us from. And we would love to hear from you, any questions or comments. So a little bit about us. We are a gem wholesaler out of California. We have a branch of our company in Eastern Thailand where we do all our own beautiful cutting. So in the industry, in the gemstone industry, a lot of times you will see a lot of gems that are really big, may not be cut to proportion. And the reason for that is that they are trying to conserve as much weight as possible. And that is very common because the cutters actually get paid by weight, not by stone. And so a lot of the gems you'll see are usually poorly cut, but here at Artinian Gems, we pride ourselves on beautifully cut gems. So we do all of our own cutting. This is Nong here. She is one of the owners here at Artinian Gems. This is David's wife, and she is the real boss lady here. She does a lot of the sourcing as well and pricing, etc. And it's actually her brother and his wife and her older brother that does the cutting for Artinian Gems. They do beautiful work and they cut for beauty, not for weight. So they make sure that the gems sparkle and have life. And so that's what we pride ourselves on here at Artinian Gems. And we carry a wide array of gems from Alexandrite all the way to zircon. So pretty much the whole alphabet. So if you're interested in seeing a gem, you can always reach out to us at info@Artinian Gems, or reach out to us on our Facebook, or
call us.
Give us a call, 858-679-7633. We're always happy to answer any questions you may have or help you in any way that we can. If you are a retailer, do reach out to us, and we will be happy to help you with any colored gemstone requests, as well as we do these private showings and virtual gem parties all the time. So if you're interested in that, do let us know. Another little thing that I love to talk about that David is actually a little shy about, but I always like to talk about it because it's important to me, is that Artinian Gems also gives back to the communities that they source these gems from, right?
Yeah.
So we love to donate to a charity actually called the CARES Project. They do some wonderful work in Thailand, on the border of Thailand and Burma. And so I'm going to share with you their website so that you can see what they do and why we're so passionate about it. Here, just bear with me and I will show you in just a second.
You want to share?
Yeah. So we're going to share our screen real quick. So we're going to share our screen with their website and show you what they do and why they are so great. Okay, here we go. Sorry, technical difficulties. Bear with me. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. This is the CARES Project, and this is their website. It's thecaresproject.org. And you can read all about what they do. So what they do is they support families in Thailand and actually Burmese refugees coming to Thailand. Migrants. So as you may have heard, Burma is in a period of unrest. There's a lot going on over there, and there's a lot of people fleeing, a lot of young families fleeing. And so their work is important because they give food and resources, but they also educate families on like how to care for infants, how to care for children, also help them with financial resources and financial tools. So they educate them on how to manage their money, also giving interest-free loans and kind of giving them some financial guidance so they can be successful in the future, not just right now. So they do really great work because these families that are going through these desperate times, I mean, you can imagine just migrating from a country, your country, to another country where you don't know anybody, and then you don't have a job and you don't have much saved. I mean, you're put in a desperate situation.
Yeah, they try to end orphanage by have the parent take care of their own kids.
Exactly.
So instead of taking all the kids and then we provide them with all monies or food, whatever, we rather have them have their own parent take care of them so they get the love and the care for is a lot more than what we could offer.
Right. And a child is more likely to be successful if it stays with their family, as opposed to being, given up to an orphanage, or in some cases they're sold. So this prevents that and helps prevent child trafficking, etc. So really important cause. If you feel inclined, donate to them, share to them, look them up yourself, and take a look at this organization because they're doing really great work. And with COVID, they've been really exasperated. They don't have a lot of resources right now just because everybody was going through a hard time. And
it's the caresproject.com.
.org. Yeah. So what I shared on there, we'll post something on there in the comments so you can see their website and read up about it yourself. Okay, so that's a little bit about us and a little bit about the CARES Project. So now let's start talking about June birthstone. Okay, here's a hint. Emerald by day, ruby by night. What is this wonderful rare gemstone that we're talking about? If you have a guess, do put it in the comments. Let us know what your guess is. It's the June birthstone, super rare, hard stone, 8.5 on the Mohs scale. So hard stone, great for everyday wear.
This first discovered in Russia.
Yes, it's a Russian stone. That should be a very big clue for all you gem geeks. Anyway, so the beautiful gem that we are talking about today, how about I give you a sneak peek and then we'll see if we got any guesses. I'm going to show you some turn on the turntable here. So can you see all those beautiful gems on there? They are all the same type of gem. And you have a variance in color here, and I will show you their phenomenon in a moment. Really cool, unique gem. So I will show you in just a minute. Okay, so let's see if we have any guesses. I'm going to take a look here.
So who's joining us?
Who is joining us? Where are you joining from? Let me know. Okay, so we're looking here. All right, it's loading. Apparently it's having difficulty loading. Let's change the view here.
We loaded with the Facebook.
You just have to scroll it all the way down, I guess. Here we are. Oh, we've got 2 comments here. Oh, okay. Yes. So great question, Ben. Ben actually asked us what the CARES Project is actually working on these days. So I'm so glad you asked that question because it's important to note that the CARES Project actually, they had 1 truck to serve that whole region. They serve about 7 families, I believe, a week, and their truck broke down. So there's actually a video on YouTube of them actually pushing the truck up the highway, up a hill, en route to deliver food to some desperate families. And so that's really just heartbreaking. But anyway, they had another person volunteer and help them, but their truck is broken down. So they are fundraising, and we are helping to fundraise next week to buy a new truck for them. They actually need 3 trucks, but they will be happy with 1 truck because they have all these different programs where educating women to care for the families, and then also doing the financial education, and then bringing food and clothing, etc. So they actually need 3 trucks because they have 3 different programs, but they will settle for 1 truck. So if you can donate and are inclined to donate, please go to their website and click on the donate button. They would love any help and support that they could get, or just share about the organization too. They would love for other people to be aware about them. So thank you for that question, Ben. Great question. In terms of what we are looking at today, we are looking at, drum roll please, alexandrite. So if you are a June baby, you are very lucky. Alexandrite is amazing. It comes from several different sources, actually. One of the main sources, one of the most famous sources, I should say, it's not the main source anymore, is Russia, the Ural Mountains. It was first discovered in 1830, so that's where it comes from. And the saying, emerald by day, ruby by night. So it is a green, or it could be bluish green or olive green during the day. And then it can change to reddish purple, purplish color. And usually it is a very dramatic, strong color change. And so, alexandrite is a beautiful, rare stone. Some of the other sources for alexandrite are actually Brazil and Sri Lanka. And another source is actually Madagascar. So I'm going to see if I can show you the video here behind us. Oh, there's David in the mines. But yes, so the sources are Russia, India as well, I forgot. So Russia is the Ural Mountains. Nowadays, there is not much being mined. It's very periodic, very sporadic. If you get one, you're very, very lucky. We're going to start the video over and show you a little bit about where these gems come from. And there's our logo. And okay, so here we go. So right here, you're seeing Sri Lanka, which is an island off of India, and they are mined in Ratnapura. So the colors tend to be not as strong as the Russian ones, but
or the
Brazilian. But there is actually at a sapphire mine, which occasionally produces alexandrite. So you can see it's alluvial deposit, so in the river, in the water, run off the mountains. And so this is kind of some footage of an actual active mine. So that's really cool. There is Russia, the most famous source for alexandrite, which is no longer really producing. So if you have a Russian alexandrite, you're very lucky, and it's an older gemstone because they no longer really mine out of Russia. And Madagascar is the other source. Ilakaka, and
the region
is the region of Ilakaka, and so that's also an island. Madagascar is off the
Madagascar is island in the Indian Ocean,
right?
And Ilakaka also produce beautiful sapphires. And
yes, and then here's another source is in Brazil, Minas Gerais, and they produce really beautiful alexandrites, comparable to the Russians. Nice, beautiful color change, strong color change, and pretty strong, vivid color. So very good source there. And then lastly, India. So India is in the Aku Valley region, and it was first discovered in 1996. And the production out of India is limited, not very many. So here's an example of some of the color change. This is blue to greenish blue, and then you have your purple to reddish purple. So depending on the light. So if it is fluorescent light, which is rich in the blues and greens, it will look blue or green. And then in the incandescent right here, which is candlelight, or some people say pen lights, is rich in the purples and the reds. And so you can get a beautiful purplish red. So that is actually one of our alexandrites that we're really proud of. It was a 4-carat alexandrite cushion cut. Amazing, strong color change as you saw. And so that's one of our beauties. But let's show you what we have on the turntable today, because we have some really nice, really nice alexandrites here available for you. So one of the really cool things about alexandrite is not only the color change, but the fact that I'm going to do some light magic here and turn off some lights. So don't bear with me here so we can show the color change. So we're going to turn off all these side lights here, and then we're going to use these handy dandy little lights and to demonstrate the difference in incandescent, and there's fluorescent, incandescent, and this one actually right here, this cabochon, look at that. That's a pretty strong color change. And this one is actually a cat's eye. So not only can alexandrite be a color change alexandrite, there you go, see the blue green, but you can see that cat's eye right there. Wow, the cat's eye. Isn't that amazing? So not only is it have the color change, but it also has the cat's eye, 2 phenomenon in 1 gem, which is incredibly rare. So, and talking about the different sources of gems, this one here is that's actually beautiful red. Isn't, lights are turning on. It went here. Oh, okay. So as Nong is taking a look for that one, it was camera shy, so it bounced around. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have this oval one right here in the center. There we go. So this one, look at that color change. Blue-green to purplish. Isn't that pretty? So this one is actually from Brazil. And you can see how it sparkles. It's got life. It's a beautiful stone. So that is an example of a Brazilian. And that one actually is a 0.93 carat. So just under that carat size. And it is an oval. And this one retails for $10,799. So that gives you an example of how valuable. How valuable. I mean, when you're talking about alexandrites, if it's over, 2 carats, it's rare. Over 5 carats, very rare. And then once you get into your double digits, I mean, it's incredibly rare. We're talking about like one of a kind pieces, and they can go for as much as like $30,000 to $50,000 a carat. Yep. So per carat is more expensive than diamond. Absolutely, and much more rare, and in my opinion, much more interesting. Yes. So let's take a look at another one here. So we have this pear shape here. This is another lovely one. This one, look at this color change, just so striking. Purplish red right there, gorgeous. Yep. And then you've got that blue-green. This is another Brazilian alexandrite, and this one is 0.97, so just under that carat mark. And this one retails for $13,000. So this one is a little higher in price because of its strong color change. That is one of the main values for alexandrite, is the color change, the strength of color change. And this little piece, this little ditty right here, very interesting. This is actually rough. So rough alexandrite. That's how it comes out of the ground. You can see it has some green, and then some... It has, yes, it shows purplish red, but then it also, under the daylight, has blue, green, and brown. So very interesting. So those are some of these beautiful alexandrites. Oh, let's show you this little fancy cut here. This one is sort of like a cushion cut, but it's a bit of a fantasy cut too.
It's
Very
it's
pretty.
what they call soft cushion or antique cushion.
Antique cushion. Yeah, you can just see how it sparkles, which I love this stone. And so let's look at the color change. So this, whoa, a nice soft purplish violetish red. And then you have that beautiful blue green. Isn't that a gorgeous color? Love it.
Kind of like minty green.
Minty green. It has that bluish green and a little bit of olive to it. And this one is from Madagascar, actually. So this is a great example of Madagascar material. You can have just beautiful, beautiful bright stones from Madagascar as well. And this one is 0.98 carats. So 2 points shy of a carat. And it is 7,100 is the retail price for that. So if you are interested in purchasing any gemstones from us and you are not a retail store, we will be happy to partner you with a retail store.
Nearby where you are.
Nearby where you are. So if you just let us know where you're located, and then we can send you to one of our retail partners, and we will send the stones to the store, and you can come in for final viewing and purchase. So we'll be happy to help you out with that. If you're a retail store, we'll be happy to show you any gems that you may be interested in. So just let us know. And I guess that one Sri Lankan alexandrite went for a trip, so we'll have to find that later. My apologies, but this is live, so this is what happens. Okay, any questions regarding history or anything interesting about alexandrites that you may want to ask us while we're here and we're live?
Do you remember the chemical composition for the alexandrite?
Yes, so alexandrite is beryllium aluminum oxide.
Oh, wow.
And so the reason that so let's talk about, the mining. Alexandrite is actually a secondary gemstone that they find in a mine, usually like an emerald mine or some other gemstone mine. The reason is that the production of alexandrite is very sporadic. So if you were solely mining for alexandrite, you may go years without finding one. So you mostly find emeralds or sometimes demantoid garnets in Madagascar. And so emerald, which is a beryl, which is beryllium aluminum silicate, is actually mined in these pegmatite veins, hydrothermal veins. And there's all these elements just growing in there, all these crystals and minerals growing in there. And so they mostly find emeralds, but because the elements that make up emerald are so similar to alexandrite, with only a few variants, they often find alexandrites in there as well in those veins. One of the trace element that actually gives the alexandrite its color is chromium. So for those of you who have been following us on Lunchtime Lives, you know that chromium is an element that actually does a lot of coloring in different gemstones. Sapphires and emeralds all have trace elements of chromium that give certain colors. So very interesting. As well, I did want to mention, because we're talking about alexandrite, and one of the really cool things about alexandrite, which I will show you in a second, is that alexandrite is pleochroic. So for those gem hounds, you already know what that means, or the fellow gemologists, you know what that means. But if you don't, it means that when you look at a stone and you look at it from one angle, it looks one color. And then if you change the angle, you see a different color. And that is common in some gemstones like tanzanite, which is blue to violet or blue to purple or green. Yeah. And then you also have sapphire, can be pleochroic. And then you have alexandrite. Alexandrite can actually show three colors at once, which is very cool.
For it. You can see the blue, the purple, the red mixed.
Right. It's
Really?
very interesting. So not only does alexandrite display color change, but it's also pleochroic. So you get like a little tri-color
See,
effect.
you see all the color.
All the colors in the gemstone as you're looking at it from different angles and enjoying your stone. So that is also one of the things that we love about alexandrite and makes it so beautiful and rare. If you're interested in seeing one of the super rare gems that have sold and how much they've sold for, I can show you here. I'll share my screen so you can see some alexandrites. Here is one that sold at the Christie's auction, and it sold for almost $1 million. Now, it was a really large, the one in the
Wow.
center there.
It's a big size.
19.05 carats. I mean, outstanding, incredible, crazy size. And you can see the color change is just remarkable. I mean, it's strong color change. And that one sold for $959,400. So that comes out to over $50,000 per carat. So, which is crazy.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah. So 2007.
I'm sure it's over $1 million now.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. And then on the left-hand side, you see a Sri Lankan alexandrite that sold at auction for over $500,000. So very cool.
There's
And
a question.
Oh, we have a question.
We have a question.
All right.
We have a viewer who'd like to understand how this stone works in an engagement ring compared to diamond.
Oh, I love that question. So let's stop sharing this and then, okay. So right now it is very on trend to do a colored gemstone instead of a diamond. Sapphire has always been a great alternative to a diamond in an engagement ring because it's very hard and, you know, sapphires have their lure and their history, royalty.
Being rare too.
Right, they are rare as well. But also like royalty has always used sapphire. They have it in their crown jewels. You know, Princess Diana had a sapphire engagement ring. And so that's one of the famous engagement rings. But alexandrite is also a great alternative to a diamond. Reason being, one, it's hard, it's tough. It can withstand everyday wear. It's an 8.5 on the Mohs scale. So it is tough and it doesn't have a cleavage plane. So for all you gemologists and gem geeks, it is a great option. It won't cleave, meaning it won't split if it's hit at the right angle. So that is a great alternative. Plus you get the color change, which I think is super interesting, way more interesting than diamond. And it's extremely rare. So most people don't ever purchase an alexandrite. And then in the stores, you may see 1 or 2 alexandrites if you're lucky. So an alexandrite, I think, is an exceptional option for an engagement ring if you want something rare, beautiful, something that's going to last for generations and also increase in value.
And often you don't see genuine natural alexandrite at the
Very
store.
true. Very true. So so buyers beware. There are synthetics and there are imitation alexandrites.
There are
So
a lot out there.
yes, there's a lot. So, and lab grown. So, now, if you have an alexandrite and you have questions about the alexandrite, you can always bring it into your local jewelry store if they have a gemologist on staff, and they should be able to tell after doing a couple different tests, looking at it under the microscope, they should easily be able to tell whether it is a synthetic, a lab grown, or an imitation. So that's
especially if it's super, super clean and
right. So
often alexandrite is not clean. If you ever seen alexandrite, you will see
right.
natural growth and inclusion.
Right.
Just compared to emerald. Because,
right. Well, and it grows in the same pegmatite.
Yeah.
Pegmatites as emerald, so it often has similar characteristics.
Yeah.
Which
Emerald
is
not as super clear, clean either. So
Mhm.
you have a little bit of inclusion that you would tell. Or of course, emerald have a lot of inclusion.
Yeah. Emerald has, yeah, a lot of inclusions. So, or
So-
clarity characteristics, as we like
Right,
to call them, because emerald, I mean, it's very common with emerald, and it's just one of the characteristics of emerald, and it can be actually a beauty. It can be,
Yeah.
you know, like an internal garden, if you will. They call it the jardin of the emerald. So
And so does Alexandrite.
Alexandrite
And-
does
and if
come
you-
included
If you
often.
see Alexandrite with natural
Inclusion.
characteristic
Mhm.
inside,
Yeah.
don't be so scared. Oh, it's not
Yeah, don't be
beautiful.
deterred by that, because it is a natural characteristic, and it comes from the earth, right? So
Yeah.
these are these trace elements that make up the Alexandrite. You're going to have little birthmarks. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just what comes with nature, and part of its beauty, I would say.
Yeah.
So
And so sometimes the inclusion doesn't actually deter the sparkle.
right, if it's orientated correctly, you can facet a gemstone, and if it has an inclusion, then you can either make it hidden or not distract from the beauty of the stone. So, cool. If you have questions, comments, if you like this Lunchtime Live, please let us know. Share with your friends. Follow us, like us, share. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you, and we're always here to help. So please reach out to us. Thank you for joining us on Lunchtime Live.
Thank you for joining us
And
this week
yeah, this week.
for birthstone for June. And
The ladies were taking over. Anyway, so please join us next week for Lunchtime Live, same time, same place. Hope to see you then.